What's up, guys? Welcome back to All Results for All. I am today with Waleed. Waleed, how you doing, mate?
Yes, I'm good. I'm always happy for a stream. But we're back. Great stuff. Let's get into it.
Yeah, big up. Yes, before we start introducing the actual people on the stream itself, today we know who we're sponsored by. Ace Kits. This video is sponsored by Ace Kits. You can get 10% discount by using the code All Results Football, all lowercase, at acekits.co.uk. Get your new season tickets right now, and also get your new football kits right now immediately. So yes, let me introduce guests. Let me just introduce guests. So firstly, it's Manny. How you doing, man?
Yeah, all good. Can't really complain. Been busy earlier on today, and now I'm here. So yeah, good to be on a stream as always. Good to be in your company, and yep, ready to roll.
Great to have you, bro.
Great to have you back as well. And also, we're joined by Leon. Leon,
yes,
how you
guys.
doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
And also, Hanno, Kairos. Hanno? No. Just keep it muted. So yes. Before we start, I want to actually go into something really important, the Premier League predictions. I mean, given the fact that the Premier League is so intense and so entertaining, you never know when the Premier League gets so entertaining and it means so much. So right now we're going to start on the Premier League predictions for match week 3. So it's Manny. First of all, Tottenham versus Wolves. What are your thoughts on this game, and how do you think it will go?
Well, if on the Tottenham Southampton game was anything to go by, I think Conte will have his players fired up for another win, and it will be another big win against a team which might have made a big signing in Nunez, but will still, have to do a lot of work to try to make sure they gel well. They're still winless, and I don't see Wolves picking up any points. If anything, the Wolves might end up being hunted down and taken down very easily. I'm going for a 3-0 because I also don't see them scoring. 3-0, easy.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Leon, let's move on to you. What do you think about this game? What do you think is going to happen in this game?
Yeah, I think it'd be quite an easy game for Spurs, and I think for the majority of the game, Wolves will be sitting in a really low block defensively. And I think, Son and Kane will get on the score sheet, Son maybe get a hat-trick or Kane could get a hat-trick, and yeah, I think it'd be quite a walk in the park for Spurs, and I'm going for a 3-0 win.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. We're joined by Everton Gunner. How you doing, mate? Can you hear me? No, nothing for the moment. Well, so Waleed, move on to you. About this game, where do you think Zaki will go? I mean, how will Zaki will unfold tactically?
There's only one way. Sadly, there's only one way. I'm actually very disappointed, to be honest, on Wolves because, yeah, they made a very good signing. They signed Matheus Nunes, who's one of the top centre backs in the Premier League last season. The Premier Liga, the Portuguese league. That's a very good signing for me. For also Gonzalo Guedes, obviously the Portuguese national team link up still happening. However, the fact that they're selling Morgan Gibbs-White for 44 million euros, I think, that is very concerning from their point of view because, yeah, he's a player that's only played really in the Championship. He's only Championship proven, but he was still the top assist. He was the top creator in the Championship last season with Sheffield United. On top of the
what's going on, guys?
Hey, you all right, mate? How you doing, mate?
Good. You?
Yeah, thank you. How about yourself?
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, fair point. Well, he's fair point. So everything.
As I was saying, let me finish. Yeah.
So
he also had a great season with Swansea. In the season when Steve Cooper was there as well. So this is very, very shocking. And also the fact that he started their first 2 Prem games, played the full game, I think, against Leeds, Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's a very weird transfer, especially when he's going to Nottingham Forest. I understand that he used to work under Cooper, but it just doesn't really make sense to me, that signing. I don't know why Wolves would be willing to sell. So that's unless they have a replacement in mind, that's probably better. I don't understand that one, to be honest. But on this game, something that I've analysed of Wolves so far, the fact that they've got no striker really. They've got Huang, but I think he's better on the wing. Jimenez and obviously Fabio Silva's not there anymore. So like they're gonna have to. They've got no goals. Like the fact that they weren't able to score against Fulham is very, very concerning, to be honest. So, and Tottenham are a team that have bundles of goals in them from so many positions: Son, Kane, Kulusevski, even Richarlison can chip in. Like honestly, I see 3-0 Tottenham.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Everything good. I know that you're an Arsenal fan. Where do you see this game going?
Are you on about the one on the weekend?
Yeah, Tottenham versus Wolves. Yeah, generally
Tottenham versus Wolves. Okay, listen. I know I won't get memed for this, but 1 second.
No worries. Take your time. If I were just mute yourself and go in a quiet room, so that's what I'd do. So it's Hanno. Hanno, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Move on to you. What are your thoughts on Tottenham versus Wolves? Where do you think you will go?
Yeah, so of course I believe Conte will not be next to the top strike. I think he will be in the stands. If I'm correct. Don't know how much that will affect him. I don't think it will affect him that much because if you look, it's Wolves. They're pretty poor side, honestly. Tottenham should smash them. They will smash them 4-0 to Tottenham. Yeah. And do you guys think Son will get his first Premier League goal? He hasn't scored yet.
See that happening. You never know. You never know with Wolves.
Yeah.
Like, so yes, everything good. How about
And
yourself?
Leon,
Yeah.
can I ask?
Sorry about that. Yeah, go first.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Yeah, go first. Yeah, go first.
Yeah. Tottenham. I might get mean for this as an Arsenal fan, but Tottenham actually have a very good squad this season. I think they can actually maybe win something. They always say they do, but you know they have got a team that can win trophies. They have an amazing manager in Conte. If Arteta was to get sacked right now, Conte is the man. I'd say, yeah, get him in. Obviously, he's at Tottenham now, but Conte is a very good manager. He's a world-class manager. He's done a lot. He's taken Tottenham to where they really want to be. But honestly, on the other side, Wolves are an unpredictable team. They just bought is it Mafia something? Nunez or something?
I think it's Nunez, yeah.
Amazing player, £50 million. He's a very good player from Sporting Lisbon. And I think he might play, you never know. But we'll see. I think obviously the odds are Tottenham to win. And I think they will win. It's Tottenham at home. But we'll have to see. Tottenham's one of those teams, just like us, unpredictable.
Fair points. Let's move on to the next game. So it's Everton versus Nottingham Forest. So yes, Leon, move on to you. Game, where exactly will it have to move to? Yeah.
Well, I think this game will be a really close game. You know, Forest is coming up, but I got a feeling they're going to be a bit like Brentford. You know, like putting a good matchup against the big teams. And I know Everton are struggling at the moment, but I do think Forest can scrape a win here. You know, maybe like a 1-0 or 2-0 win. You know, they obviously have Dean Henderson now from United on loan, which has been a really great signing. Obviously saved the penalty the other day. Nico Williams, they've signed a new striker and they've had a brilliant window so far. But Everton, I don't really know if they can win this game. So I'm going for a 2-0 Forest win.
Fair point. So yes, Hanno, moving on to you. How do you see this game faring? What exactly do you think will vote in this game? This is definitely going to be a close game, isn't it?
Definitely a close game, as you said. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see for us after the first win when at home, now going away. We saw against Newcastle on the first day of the season where they where they struggled. So will they struggle again? I think they will struggle a bit, but I feel sorry to say this to Frank Lampard, but your Everton team won't get their first win. It will be a draw, but not a win. I'm going with a 1-0 draw.
100% agree with that. So yes, Manny, moving on to you about this game. It's going to be really, really well positive for us. They're on a momentum. Everton, they're in a relegation fight. How do you see it unfolding?
I'm actually going to share Leon's thought that it might be a very tight game because as well as Forest played against West Ham, they still might need to really make sure they can rest the initiative. And the thing about some of these promoted teams who, overachieve against the bigger teams is that when they come up against teams, they're expected to beat, like Everton right now, who look in disarray without a striker, they could be put under some pressure. So I think Steve Cooper will tell the boys, don't underestimate these boys. They are, they may not be in the best of positions right now, but they can easily hit you when you least expect it. Whether they'll score goals remains to be seen. Maybe this should be the game where they break their duck because it's still a very, raw sort of defense, if you will. I don't see too much experience in their back four. I mean, Steve Cook came on the transfer from Bournemouth in the closing stages to see out the result, but I think Everton might possibly nick a goal given the inexperience of the back four for Forest, but they have enough in their attack to score some goals. So I would say Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 2. 2-1 to Forest.
Interesting. Everything good. I want your thoughts. How do you see this game going?
Nottingham Forest, Premier League. In the Premier League, they've got the most transfers. I believe they have 11 transfers so far this
16?
summer.
Is it 16? Yeah.
It must be 17.
I thought I saw today. I saw a post 11, but okay, maybe 16, 11, 16, 15, whatever. Yeah. They've done a lot of business. They've come to the Premier League, and let's not forget these guys were a Premier League club at one point before this time. So Nottingham Forest are a big team. If people really know football, they know that Nottingham Forest is a big team. It has not been great for them in the last, say, few years or more than that, but they're a big team. They mean business. They've come to this Premier League. They're spending the cash, and they're trying to improve their squad and try and stay up in this Premier League. Obviously, not going to say they're going to finish top 10, top 6, this, that, but they're going to try and stay up, and I think they can do it. Everton, on the other hand, it's sad that for the last couple of seasons, they fell short. Don't forget, Everton were a team that people used to go to Everton and actually, get worried about going Goodison Park and getting a result. It was a hard ground to go play at. Am I right or wrong? Yeah. So it was, and it's they had good players in the years, but Everton, I don't know, they're not bad. They've got decent players in that team, which is the truth. They've got decent players in the team. I don't know what's going on. Do you question the management? Do you question? I don't know, but I think it's going to be a tough game for both teams. But I think, it will be Nottingham Forest that gets the result, and I'm going for a 1-0 to Nottingham Forest.
I 100% agree with you. So, Willie, go back to you. This game, it's going to be a really intriguing game for all Premier League spectators. And, with Forest and the momentum, Everton are in this race. What are your thoughts?
This is going to be a bit of a lengthy one. I feel like Forest's signings, they needed to make all the signings that they made because the team that came up into the Premier League was not a Premier League team. Like, half of their squad is Championship quality, and the rest of them were loan players that they weren't able to bring back. So I feel like they had to make this big sales and make these big signings because this was the only way that they would have had a chance of keeping their Premier League status. And even if they don't and they go down, they'll probably have the best squad in the Championship by a country mile, so they can come straight back up and it will be alright, and they will try not to be a yo-yo club. But in this case, for this game, whether Gibbs White is going to play for this game, I don't know. Probably not. I feel like Everton. I'm actually going to kind of disagree with what everything Gunnar said about Goodison Park. I still feel like Goodison Park, on its day, is still a very hostile stadium to go to. As a lot of teams found out last season, obviously the way Everton stayed up against Crystal Palace coming back from 2-0 down, the fans really helped. Even Arsenal, when we went there, we struggled massively because of the atmosphere. When Goodison Park is rocking, it is rocking.
But you're Arsenal. You're Arsenal.
Yeah, but Hannah, remember last week, a few weeks ago, was the first time you beat them there in 4 years, so you struggled as well. So like, and even Man United lost to them as well. So like, we've all lost to them last season.
Yeah.
So I feel like Everton, Nottingham Forest had a lot of luck against West Ham, like a lot of luck. West Ham hit the crossbar twice, had a goal disallowed, missed a penalty. On another day, that probably doesn't happen, if we're being honest. And I don't really know if Forest were really that convincing in that game. So I do feel like just because Everton are going to have the fans behind them, most of their new signings are going to be playing. I do feel like Everton are going to scrape a win here, just mainly because of probably home advantage and the fact that Forest squad hasn't really gelled yet. So I'm going to go for 1-0 Everton win.
Interesting. Moving on to the next game. So it'll be Leicester versus Southampton. Starting by Manny. I mean, this game will be so significant for Leicester. How do you see it going? Yeah, Manny. Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. I mean, I didn't quite hear you say my name. Should be a Leicester win. They need a win, and I think the spirit they've showed against Brentford and Arsenal, for that, Brendan Rodgers will demand a response, and they have the players to make that happen. Southampton, well, they're going to huff and puff, but they won't blow the Foxes down. So, I mean, I think the Foxes should be able to win this one easily, but I'm going for 2-0. Yeah. I don't think Ward-Prowse will get on the score sheet this time.
Interesting. Everything Gula, I want your thoughts. With Leicester at the moment, they're definitely on strong momentum. If you look at their draw and against Brentford, and also their loss against Arsenal as well. How do you see it going? In terms of result?
We know that Leicester can score goals. It can be 2-0 to you, and they can easily score 2 more goals because they have that type of caliber in their team. They have ballers in their team. Why they haven't bought new signings in so far, I don't know. But they have a squad where any team in the world will happily take a few players from that team. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you are definitely right.
Fofana, Vardy, Soyuncu, they're all good, decent players. I'll take anyone from Leicester in that first 11. I wouldn't mind Maddison as well. I think Leicester might just about win this game. I think 2-1 to them because Southampton are just, I feel like they need more additions in that team. They're just not good enough. Again, Southampton have some good players in that team. Ward-Prowse, they have Walker Peters, good player. And I think it's going to be a home advantage for Leicester. I'm going for a 2-1 Leicester.
I agree there. So yes, Waleed, moving on to you. How do you see this game going?
I feel like Leicester are going to need a win, but I don't think it's going to be easy because the way Southampton last week came back from 2-0 down at home against Leeds, that was very, very interesting. I feel like Aribo had a very good game, did well from FPL as well. Walker Peters, as everything goodness said, is a very solid player. They have quite a few good players in their team, and their transfer business over the last 2-3 summers has been very interesting because of their new transfer policy of going after young players from different Premier League clubs and gelling them and making them into their own prospects, like what you saw of like maybe Broja, Livramento, even the signings they made this year, like Bazunu, the new goalkeeper, is a very top talent for Ireland. So I feel like Southampton aren't going to make an easy game for Leicester, but I feel like Leicester will just have a bit too much quality to knock them off the park. So I'm going to go for 2-0 Leicester win.
Definitely. I'm going to go for that result as well. So yes, Hanno, moving on to you. With this result, with this actual outcome in this game, how do you see it going?
This is a tough game to predict because you don't know how Leicester going to turn up with their talent. Many teams in Premier League would have Tim Vardy, Madison, Fofana. Will they turn up, or will it just be a boring match of teams playing like they did the past 2 weeks? So it's tough to predict. But I want to say draw, but I think I have to go with Leicester City, just because they at this point the squad is better than Southampton. So I have to go with 1-0 to Leicester. But don't be surprised if it is a 0-0 draw.
You never know, really. You never know. Last one, but not least, Leon. Leon, how do you see it going?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this game will be a quite tight affair, but I just think with Leicester's quality all on the pitch, especially in midfield with Maddison and Tielemans and Vardy's pacing behind, I just think Leicester will have too much for Southampton on the day. But you can never write Southampton off because they have obviously James Ward-Prowse, but I don't think he will have much luck in this game. I don't think, because both teams are obviously vulnerable at the back, but Southampton are more vulnerable. So yeah, it'd be a good game, but I think Leicester will have too much quality on the day, and I'm going for 2-0 Leicester.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great points over there, guys. Great points. Move on to the next game. So it will be Fulham versus Brentford. Starting with you, Waleed. How did this game go?
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's a little West London derby. So I feel like Craven Cottage is going to be buzzing for this game. Fulham have really impressed me so far this season, even though Fulham do this every year, where they have a good start, decent start, and they just crumble. But Brentford, obviously, after that 4-0 win against United, are going to be buzzing. They're going to really head into this game. I think their new signing, Damsgaard, is a very solid player, as we saw in the Euros. He's had some injury problems over the last year, so he hasn't really been as good, but I still feel like on his day he's a quality player, so I don't know if he's going to play. But Fulham, Andres Pereira is not going to be available, so that's a bit of a woe because he has played pretty well in his first 2 games. So I do feel like Brentford might just have a little bit of an edge. So I do think that they might win. I'm going to say maybe a 2-1 Brentford win. Just because even though Fulham have Mitrovic up top, who we know can bag goals in his day, I feel like they struggled quite a bit last week against Wolves. Like on another day, maybe if Raheem is up top, they lose that game. Because they didn't create enough at all. They just didn't create enough. You can't rely on Mitrovic penalties to get you goals every single year. Like, it's just not going to work. So I don't know. They're just going to be lacking that creativity. And I feel like Brentford just have too much of that right now. So I'm going to say 2-1 Brentford.
Definitely. I agree there. It's going to be a really tough game for both sides. So, yes, Leon, go back to you. This game is going to be a really, really, really interesting outcome for either side. So, from your perspective, from a tactical point of view, how do you see it going?
Yeah, I mean, Brentford obviously just had that big win over us, 4-0. But Fulham, they rely on Mitrovic, I think, too much. And I don't think they can just rely on him, and I think Thomas Frank will have Brentford set up really well, high press, have lots of possession of the ball. So, yeah, I think Brentford could win this game, but you never know. Fulham home advantage at Craven Cottage, the fans are going to be really up for this game, but I think Brentford will have too much quality on the day, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 Brentford win.
Interesting. Manny, what do you think of this game? How exactly do you feel about
This is actually one of those games, again, where, after performing magnificently against a so-called big team, they may flatter to deceive against the team they're expected to beat. So there's going to be goals in this game, and obviously their strikers and midfielders are on red-hot form. But given that it is at Craven Cottage, I think, the atmosphere that was provided over there, I'm pretty certain that the fans are going to be up for this. So I'm actually going to stick my neck out and say that it's going to be a score draw. There will be goals in this, 2-2. Yeah, because Mitrovic obviously will be key, but I don't think the way Brentford are able to carve Manchester United up, I seriously don't think that Silva will allow that to happen to Fulham. So it'll be a score draw. I'm sticking my neck out.
By the way, Munzi, Oris is hiding because he doesn't want to hold the smoke. So when he comes in, you can give him the talk.
Yeah, he'll be back soon. He will be back soon. So yes. Before we move on to Hanno, Felix, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Good evening, everyone.
Yes,
Felix, long time, man.
Long
Yeah,
time,
it's been
mate.
a while. Yeah.
So yes, Hanno, I want your thoughts on this game. It's going to be really close, isn't it?
Yeah, you mean the game between Fulham and Brentford, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it could actually go. It could actually go both ways. Yeah, Fulham are playing with high intensity and full energy, and playing a team like Brentford, they know they can have a point if they play well. So I believe they will go for everything, and the game can go both ways. I actually don't have a prediction on who's gonna win between the two.
Yeah, that's going to be a draw most likely. So yes, Hanno, I want your perspective. Where do you see this game going?
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. I think for both teams, but I want to say 2-1 Fulham, but because it's at Craven Cottage, but I just got to see it, and because Brentford beat it, United 4-0. Yeah. So you've got to probably go with the draw. And I'm going with that. A high scoring 2-2 draw. And yeah, hopefully I'm right. I haven't, my Premier League predictions haven't done so good. So hopefully I am correct on this one. That's it. Manzi, or is it just, I'm sorry, he doesn't want to smoke. And we all know, Ores is scared. When United get better, Ores is scared. He's
Oh,
scared.
he must be
Doesn't
the
want
moment.
to-
He must be.
Unlike Leon and Hadi, who have guts, he doesn't have any guts.
That's true. So yes, everything good. Let's go back to you. This game is going to be really very close. Do you think it will be really close to this?
I'm going for Brentford 3-1.
Hmm.
I think Brentford have shown. I know it was only Man United, and no matter what people want to say, Man United are a big club. They're a top 6 club. They have world-class players in that team, and Brentford turned up against them. Simple as. And I think Brentford's going to be one of them teams who are going to have a lot of upsets for teams. They're going to provide a lot of upsets for a lot of teams in this league, I think. And I think, one of like how Aston Villa were last season, they were just that team where you go there and you have second thoughts about how you plan your team out. I think they got, Brentford have they got decent players there as well. They're going to be one of them underdog teams, and I'm going for 3-1 Brentford.
Definitely. I agree there. So yes, let's move on to the next game now. So it's going to be a really interesting game. So yes, Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Manny,
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Please. Before you move to the next game, I'm a
Yeah.
Manchester United fan. Okay, and I want to say something. For the fact that Brentford beat us does not mean they will beat any other big team. Or we only make Brentford very good. Okay, Brentford played against a poor team, a team that any small team, any average team in the EPL will beat on that same day. If it wasn't Brentford, if we were playing another team, we were going to lose. So Brentford played against a bunch of below average and average players. So there is forget about the big six, forget about painting things beautifully. There is nothing to paint beautifully right now. We have poor players. They played against poor players. Any normal team who plays such match, we win. Okay, so that does not give Brentford the leverage that they are going to beat other big teams. No, they played against, in fact, the poorest team in the EPL right now. So that's why I'm not making the case for them as against United.
Yeah, Felix, I understand what you're
Confident.
saying. But like Brentford have a very good record against the big six from when they've been in the Premier League. They got a draw against Liverpool last season. They beat Arsenal. They destroyed Chelsea. They've destroyed you.
Wait, destroyed us. When?
Brentford when they beat you 4-1,
Destroyed,
remember? When they beat you 4-1
yeah.
at Stamford
Yeah,
Bridge.
remember the result.
Apologies.
So Brentford have a very good record. They even like narrowly lost to Man City. Like they beat West Ham as well. I mean, they're not big six, but still they're a top club. they've so Brentford are a very good team when it comes to the Big Six. So
Yeah, they are good
for you
teams,
to say that
but
they're not
they are
gonna
good teams. Okay,
get results,
I'm
it's a bit
I'm not
interesting.
denying the fact that they are good teams, but they played against a very poor team.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
That does not make the case for them whether they are good or bad. Okay, they played against a very poor team. Any other team could beat on a normal day. So let's continue. Yeah.
And Felix, Tenag in or Tenag out?
Interesting.
You see, I told Ores, okay, before Terag was employed, I told him that I have my reservations towards employing towards employing Ten Hag. Okay, I preferred I wanted us to go for Conte before Tottenham employed him. I wanted us to go for Conte because maybe during the course of the program we will discuss further because there's a whole lot of things to say. A whole
Yeah, we'll
lot of
discuss when we
things.
get to Man United. Yeah. In the meantime, let's move on to Palace vs Villa.
But let's move on to the next game, guys. So, Manny, let's start with you. This game is going to be close. What do you think?
This will be a really interesting one. Patrick Vieira against Steven Gerrard. Watertight Crystal Palace team against an Aston Villa team also coming into their own. Very tough to call, I would say. I'd say that to a man, the Aston Villa team probably has a little bit more in terms of talent in their ranks, but the way Vieira's got Palace playing, they're certainly quite tight. They gave Liverpool a good run for their money, but again, as was the case, Liverpool just had more domination and looked the team that was more likely to win, even despite going down to 10 men. I actually see this, though, being a bit of a draw. Both teams will end up cancelling each other out. I think the goalkeepers, Guaita and Martinez, will be very important because they're going to have to be on top form to, make sure they keep the other team out. And it'll be interesting to see how Villa's defence also rises to the challenge. Obviously, they've had to patch it up a little bit after Matt Target and Target left. Mings coming back will help.
Mm-hmm.
Palace do look good despite Gallagher going back to Chelsea. I'm going to stick my neck out here and go for a 1-1 draw.
Come on.
Yeah. So yes, Hanno, I know that you're really, really enthusiastic about that. So, what are your thoughts? Do you have different views in comparison to Manny?
Gerrard is going to get schooled once again. 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Easy as that. Just it's going to be schooled. Patrick Vieira masterclass. Palace fans are going to be on it. Everyone knows it's going to be easy dub for Palace.
Yeah.
But first off, it's going to be cagey, but second off, it's going to be easy.
So 2-1. So 2-1 Palace then. 2-1 Palace.
No,
Right.
2-0.
Oh, 2-0, right. Okay, 2-0. That's good. Leon, let's move on to you. This is going to be an interesting game. Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa. Can they get a result, or could you see Crystal Palace win?
Yeah, this will be a really good game to watch. For fans and for neutrals. I think obviously Gerrard versus Vieira will be a really tight game. I think there'll be a few goals in this game as well and loads of chances. So the keepers will have to be on top form for this game, and the defense and everyone really. So, and with the qualities of both teams, they're both similar. In their way they play, high press, everything like that. And obviously Palace played really well against Liverpool the other day to get a 1-0 draw. Obviously playing Bolsa Zaha, obviously they done really well. But I think this game will be a really tight game, and expect to see lots of goals, lots of chances, and I'm going for maybe a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, definitely.
Great minds think alike. Just the prediction is slightly different.
Yes, yes, Mari.
Yeah. I have a different view.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Aston Villa is going to win the match. You see, do you know why I picked Aston Villa? I'm not really. Who got the goals in Crystal Palace except from Wilfred Zaha? We saw their previous match when Eze had one-on-one twice with Allison and he couldn't put the ball at the back of the net. So who always calls for Crystal Palace? That is Wilfred Zaha. So when you mark him out, it's almost as if there is no goal in the team. You see, the best time I've watched Crystal Palace play is when they sit back and they catch you on the counter. But when they try to play like free football with a fellow average team, no disrespect to Aston Villa, I mean, with a team like Aston Villa, they seem to concede goals. I'm not very confident. They have a strong midfield, they win balls, but they have a very strong defense. But attacking, they are not except from Zaha, I don't see anybody who can score in that Crystal Palace team. That is the problem. Are you no? Are you only scored a goal last season? So who again? Mateta is not starting. Mateta himself is not clinical. So they only have Wilfred Zaha. But then that Aston Villa team has a lot of players that if they come good on a norm day, they're gonna beat Crystal Palace. That is my take. I just believe Aston Villa will win the game 2-1.
Good points. Every this is going to be a really good game, isn't it?
Yeah. Crystal Palace, I was actually shocked that they got a draw against Liverpool. How they got a draw, I don't know what's going on with Liverpool at the moment. That's 2 draws on the bounce for them. Crystal Palace got a draw with them in their last game. They look good. Crystal Palace, they look good as a unit. They look very good. They got some good young talent in that team. Zaha looks up for it this season. He's been looking good for the last couple of seasons. Last season, Crystal Palace was a very hostile environment to go and play at. I see Crystal Palace winning it. It's a home advantage. Just again, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Palace.
100% there. 100%. Waleed, how about yourself?
I do understand as Felix's point of view of that Palace only really have one proper goal threat. But the thing is with Palace is that even though they have one goal threat, that it's the amount of they can create for him. They have so many creators in their team. They've got Elise back now. They've had Eze, who even though he's not as clinical as he probably used to be, he's still a very good player in terms of creating chances. They have Ayu who's going to press. They have Mateo who can contribute with a goal here and there. Same with Edward. So they've got enough creativity to create enough chances for that one goal scorer, which is probably Wilfred Zaha, to get the goals, which is why they've been very well. I do feel like Patrick Vieira is a better manager than Steven Gerrard in this case in the Premier League, just because of how Vieira knows his players. He knows how to set up this Palace team, and he knows how to get them playing at their best. And Liverpool is the best example of that. They soaked up pressure, hit them on the counter-attack straight away, and that's what they've been doing the entire time. Zaha maybe could have scored like 2 other goals in that game. So also I feel like, also the fact that both teams got good results against Merseyside opposition, it's going to be an interesting game. So I think I'm actually going to agree with Leon and go with a 2-2 draw, because I do feel like there'll be goals in the game, and I do feel like both teams can cancel each other out just because Villa have a very good squad. And even though there's people like maybe Coutinho's not at the races right now, he hasn't really started too well, they still have enough quality in their team to get goals.
Interesting. What's there, guys? Moving on to the next game, Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Let's start off with fellow Arsenal fan, Manny.
Yeah. I was talking about this yesterday on another stream, and we were talking about how, past results have indicated that when it comes to playing at the Vitality Stadium, Arsenal don't have the greatest of records. Even now, I would predict that if White still starts at right back, we could be prone to conceding. But with our attacking threat so far, in the form of Jesus and Martinelli and how we've been pressing really well, we should definitely get some goals. I would predict Jesus and Martinelli to score again, maybe Saka getting one, and yet we will probably concede one. Aaron Ramsdale might end up getting a clean sheet at his former stomping ground. 3-1 to Arsenal for me.
Definitely true there. So yes, Willie, let's move on to you. What are your thoughts?
I agree with Manny in the sense that I don't think we're really going to blow Bournemouth away, because we don't have the best record there. We've only won like I think twice there in like our last 6, maybe 5. So I don't think it's gonna be crazy result. But I do feel like we're gonna have more quality than them because their main striker Dominic Solanke I think is still injured. He won't be able to play, and that's really their main goal for it. Because even though Kiefer Moore can get goals, they're not. The only way is like long balls and stuff. And from what I've seen so far, I feel like our defense can deal with that so far this season. However, I do agree with Manny in the sense that if we do play White at right back, I think that might be a little bit of a problem because they can have players that can go down that side and they can target down that side. Even though I feel like White's done okay so far, I still like since Tomiyasu is available, I think he should be starting. Same with Zinchenko as well in a way because I do feel like he's very much attack-minded fullback because obviously he's used to being in the attack. So if we have to bring on Taney maybe earlier on in the second half, that wouldn't be too bad. But I do feel like our attacking quality, Jesus, Martinelli, we've got Smith Rowe coming back now, Fabio Vieira's coming back now, we've got Saka, we've got all of these players. I just feel like we're gonna have too much for them. So I'm gonna go for 3. We'll go over 2-0 Arsenal win. I think we will keep a clean sheet. I think 2-0 Arsenal.
So yes, everything good. As an Arsenal fan, what are your thoughts on this game?
Listen, y'all are saying our record against Bournemouth's not good, but let me tell you one thing. Back then, we had bottle job players in our team. Right now, we don't have bottle job players. We have players who play for the badge. We have players who give you good football for 90 minutes. That's the change now. I'm telling you, Arsenal, and this is not me being deluded whatsoever. We are gonna go to Bournemouth and upset them a lot. We are gonna. We've showed that we can score goals. We've showed that our attacking force is very good. We're good defensively. We're good in midfield. Top to bottom, we're structured now. That's the difference between us now to last season and the season before that. We've got players who actually play for the badge. Now, I'm predicting we're gonna score 4s and 5s because the team we have the pace in that team, the players we have in that team. Gabriel Jesus, if he plays the way he played against Leicester, the guy's gonna get a hat trick easy because he showed it against Leicester. He deserved a hat trick. He could have scored 4 in that game, in my opinion. Do you see what I'm saying? So honestly, I feel like we're gonna go there. You know, Arsenal are decent away. We're gonna go there and we're gonna cause a very big upset to Bournemouth. Simple as. I'm going for a 4-1.
You know, everything Guinness, you made me change my prediction. I'm gonna go 3-0 now. You've made me a little bit more confident in the attacking phase.
Yeah,
however,
I wanted to say 3-0 too.
Yeah,
because think about it, right?
There's just a few. There's just a few little things what you were saying that I kind of don't really agree with. What you were saying about how like we have a new mentality now and all. Like, first of all, this is the same squad of players that we had last season that kind of bowled top 4. Second of all, we don't 100% know just yet. This is still a young squad, young manager. I still feel like that we still have a lot to prove. It's only been 2 game weeks so far, so it's a bit too early, and we haven't really came up against a big team yet. So I feel like
I agree.
We can keep that judgment just yet.
I agree.
But I do agree with you in terms of I think we can score goals.
I think everyone on here will agree that our front 3 is dangerous. The way Saka, Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus, that's a very good up front.
But it's too early though. It's too early to tell as well.
Yeah, it's too early to tell.
We shall see.
I just believe Arsenal got enough to prosecute their match. I believe Arsenal are going to win comfortably and convincingly. I just know that. You see, I don't care what has been going on in the club for long, but I just believe when you see a team in the right path, you know. When you see a team going in the right direction, you know. Let us see. I don't analyze. I told the rest. I don't like analyzing football most time as a fan alone. I like analyzing from a realistic point of view. Arsenal came out as 5th position last season. That was not expected from anybody. Nobody was seeing Arsenal making the top 5 because they lost the first 3 games of the season, and everywhere was already blown up. That they were, but this improvement started from last season. I could see that culture, and adding more players to their ranks, has really boosted the crowd, as in the squad. The squad is doing so well right now. The squad is looking so healthy, and with the look of things, they might actually sign another player. So I think they're in the right path and they are playing good football. If they continue like this, one cannot really predict how much success they will make. But I think they are in the right path. Other than we, that are still struggling to find our feet. Arsenal are in the right path, yeah. And they will beat Bournemouth comfortably.
Let me just jump in here and say this. I'll jump in here and say this. You started badly, 3 defeats at the very beginning. You said it. Then we went on a run winning games that normally we would be expected to win, and we got into a position where, thanks to good fortune, we were in 4th place, had a few games in hand, and could have qualified for the Champions League. We bottled it at the end.
We bottled top 4.
Please let me finish. With all due respect, let me finish. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No, carry on.
When you start a season, okay, obviously, with results not going your way at the time, you start to look into everything. But when things start to get better, goals change. When Leicester City won the Premiership in 2016, they weren't expecting that they would challenge. In fact, every single game they won, they took it one game at a time to see if they could try and finish as high as possible. They really only started to have some faith that they would win the Premiership very near the end of the season. But then goals can also change. And so it's very easy to say that nobody expected us to finish 5th. But let's put it into perspective. We didn't have European football either. Leicester, West Ham, Manchester United, Chelsea, and I think even Tottenham, along with City and Liverpool, all had European football. And so we had the advantage of not having to play that much in midweek. And we still bottled it at the end. So that tells you that for all of the progress we made, thanks to runs of form against teams that weren't as strong as us, we still couldn't win when it mattered. We lost games in clumps, including in the middle against Crystal Southampton, and then near the end, we lost against Tottenham and Newcastle, surrendering that advantage. We didn't even score in those last 2 games. So all the talk of progress at the end means nothing. This season, yes, there is some promise with Jesus and Zinchenko coming in. But this season, there'll be no excuses. And we also have European football. So he now has to deliver. And you talk of progress, nothing succeeds like success. It's Champions League first, and we also need to make sure we challenge for the title and maybe try and win a trophy. So expectations are going to be much higher. He'll have 3.5 seasons in the job, twice as long as Unai Emery, and he doesn't really have that much to show for it in those 3 full seasons.
Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why I made that opinion? Was because you see, when a team like Arsenal with such a thin squad, which I think Arsenal only have, as at last season, you only have just the first 11. Everybody on the substitution were poor players, okay? And these were a young squad who didn't have the mental fortitude to actually go over the line. What helped Tottenham defeat Arsenal last season was the Antonio Conte's factor, that mentality. Arsenal have a very young squad, a thin squad as of last season, very thin.
Youngest squad in the Premier League.
That when you actually substitute someone, there is no quality coming off the bench. So with such a squad, you can't make top 4. And I think this season is just different. I see that strong mentality. That was not their last season. Those guys tried. You see, you have to give it to them. How is Saka? How is Martinelli? How is Smith Rowe? Those guys really tried. They tried, okay? They tried. We have more mature guys in teams like Newcastle, blah, blah, blah. And they couldn't do anything. So with a team that have no substitution, as at last season, who can come from the Arsenal bench and change games? Nobody. No one. But now you guys are looking well this season. Someone that can actually come in and score goals. Nketiah is on the bench. Even Smith Rowe was one of the stars of last season. Is sitting on the bench. That is to tell you that you have a more bigger squad and more better players than you used to have last season. That factor that couldn't make you make the top 4 last season, I think that is a factor that Arteta has actually worked on this season. Because if you have the squad last season, in that scenario, fighting for a top 5, I don't think Arsenal was going to drop. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have to
That's my
agree to
opinion.
disagree. Let's not continue with this too long. We have a long way to go.
Yeah.
We'll agree to
Yeah,
disagree.
yeah, sure.
Ollie,
I know.
bye. Great to give mine as well.
Yeah. Hanno, how about yourself?
Okay, so I hear all this stuff, and I'm just like, I agree with Waleed. It's only 3 players that went from the squad last season who bottled everything, and it's still early on. What, third game now? Maybe even drop points this game. You don't know. And yeah, uh, on the youngest squad in the league, you chose to have the youngest squad in the league. You chose. Didn't it wasn't like, oh, okay, well, let's bring in all these players because why not? It's like we need players because senior players don't like Arteta. Bringing these young players and we back Arteta. So yeah, uh, just chose Savia and no diff. Yeah, true. No, spot on. And but on this game, Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Away from Arsenal, first game of the season, they were away to Palace on Friday night, and they did well. They did well. Honestly, they did well. Bournemouth, it's going to be a different, not to crack. You got Bournemouth, newly promoted team, second game at home of the season. It's going to be tough. I'm going for a high scoring game. 3 to the Arsenal, 2 to Bournemouth. And Adib, can I give all my predictions for all the games? As I need to.
Before you go, so yes, that was prediction for the Bournemouth versus Arsenal game. So next game for you, Hanno, will be West Ham versus Brighton. What's your prediction with it?
West Ham versus.
Brighton, yeah.
Okay, West Ham versus Brighton.
Quick scoreline. Yeah.
2-1 to West Ham. And then City Newcastle 2-0 to City. Oh no, make it 2-1. And then Chelsea versus Leeds 1-0 to Chelsea. Just because I think Leeds will sit back and then we struggle when team sits back. And now the fun game, United versus Liverpool. Will Liverpool draw again? Will United lose again? Or will the team walk out with the 3 points? I'm going with 2-0 to Liverpool. It won't be that easy as people think because Liverpool are struggling, and with Darwin Noodles up front, he will probably miss like 3 chances. So yeah.
Yeah, agree there.
Isn't Nunes suspended?
Yeah. Sorry, before you go,
Oh
Hanno,
yeah,
where can we find
he's
you?
suspended. Yeah.
Yeah, where can we find you?
YouTube Coach's Corner, Instagram _coach_corner, and on Twitter _coach corner. And yeah, stream literally 7 minutes. So guys, I finished watching the stream. You can jump over to mine. It's a boxing stream, so those who like boxing can watch it. Peace out, everyone. Big up everyone for joining. Big up.
Yeah,
Adi. Up the chows.
So that's Leon. Let's move on to you. Let's move on to you now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, this will be a good game to watch, with Arsenal's attack. We got Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, very good attack. But I do think Arsenal are still vulnerable to conceding at least one goal, maybe. Maybe like Kiefer Moore could get it. Ball in the box, header or something. You never know with Arsenal. And as Marnie said, if they play Ben White the right back, they are more vulnerable again. But, I do think Jesus could maybe score two or three this game, like he did against Leicester. But I think Bournemouth fans will be really up for this game, like they were for Villa, and they won 2-0 that game. But I do think Arsenal will have too much quality for Bournemouth at the end, so I'm going for a 3-1 Arsenal win.
Agree there. Felix, move on to you, even though you're the last person to ruin this. What do you think about this game? Some of the scoreline. What's always that exact prediction?
Yeah, I said it earlier. 3-0. 3-0
3-0.
to Arsenal.
Yeah. Thanks for clarifying that. But yes, let's move on to the next game, guys. West Ham versus Brighton. This is going to be really tough for West Ham. So yes, starting with Manny. Let's start with you. How do you see this pan out?
Certainly a tight game. Hard to pick a winner here. I think West Ham will certainly be fired up to try and win after disappointing against Nottingham Forest, because they had their chances to score and couldn't quite hit the target. And as I said, Declan Rice will never take another penalty for West Ham ever again. Brighton do look very solid and have been good value for their performances so far. If one of them has to score, though, it probably will be Brighton. They might come away with the win. It'll be a tight game, but there will be some goals. I just think their defence is a lot tighter, certainly, and they seem to have a lot more about them when they can move a little bit from the back, perhaps. Certainly, Lamptey coming on in the second half as a substitute will, send shivers down their spine. I am going for the Seagulls to burst the Hammers bubble. 2-1 to Brighton and Hove Albion.
Interesting. So yes, everything Gooner. So yes, how about yourself?
I'm gonna go for a Brighton win, 2-1 to Brighton. I think Graham Potter is a good manager. He under pressure, he knows how to turn a game around. They've got some decent players in that team. They sold Bissouma. They sold Cucurella, and they've showed that look, we're not gonna suffer. Even though we sold our two best players, we still can manage to win games. We still can play good games, and I think I really like watching that Casado guy. He looks very good. Reminds me of Kante. He looks very good, and Brighton have a good squad there. And yeah, I just see them getting a win. They're good at away. They've shown it. So 2-1 for me.
Interesting. So yes, Willie, let's move on to you. How do you see this actually going? Willie?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I went speaking something. Yeah. You see, I said something last season that Brighton with so much money like the top 6 club, I don't think anybody would be really able to match Graham Potter's philosophy. When I watch Brighton these days, I just enjoy them because I just don't watch football. They make me enjoy the game. The way and pattern they want to play is very distinctive and clear. You see, I don't know. I don't know. People are not looking at Brighton. Those guys are playing very good football. Very good football, and I think they've signed another left back today. They signed Estupinian from Villarreal, and I think they have seen the only what they need is just a striker who can put the ball into the net every time, because they create so many chances. Look at the game against Newcastle. They should have a team with a proper striker would have defeated Newcastle nothing less than 3-0. Those guys are playing. Look at Newcastle with the old players they have. They could not even dominate or set a foot in that game. That is to show you how Brighton plays. Brighton has been dominating the teams they play against since last season, even if they won't win. But no, these guys are playing good football. I don't see West Ham winning. The worst that could happen in that game for West Ham is a draw. And I'll keep saying something. West Ham needs to learn something in time. They need to start starting Scamacca in time and drop Antonio on the bench. With the way they are playing, they need a more intelligent striker than a physical striker. Well, this particular match, I don't see West Ham winning. 2-1 to Brighton.
2-1 Brighton, definitely. Leon, let's move on to you. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with like what all of you are saying. I think it'd be a really tight game. Obviously Brighton. They've sharpened their defense up, midfield, attack, everything, and obviously in Graham Potter, brilliant manager, good tactics and good style of play. And obviously West Ham will be up for this game. Having just lost to Forest. But I do think at the end, Brighton could maybe scrape a win here. As I said, it'd be a really tight game, and there will be goals. There will be goals in this game, so it won't be short of disappointment or entertainment. But this game, I think you're looking at a 2-1 Brighton win. But yeah, as I said, it'll be a close game. But West Ham do need to consider dropping Antonio. And trying something different. And I maybe do think Bowen could get his first goal of the Premier League season in this game.
I agree there. Waleed, hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on this game? What do you think will happen?
I feel like West Ham have to win this game to start off their season. They didn't have an easy start with Man City, which was expected. No one was really expecting them to win that game. But to lose to Forest the way they did isn't acceptable in my opinion. If I was David Moyes in that dressing room, I wouldn't have been happy at all. I feel like their problem isn't really like creating chances. They just need to. I think they need to have a more structured defense. I don't know. Ben Johnson as a centre back is just not it for me. Like I've seen enough of him in that position. He gets exposed way too much. He's not a centre back. So I know they signed Kara from PSG. That just confirmed today. I think that's a very solid signing. I think that will help them a lot since they're in the Conference League now as well. So that's a lot of good squad depth. They signed Algard as well from Rennes for roughly £30 million. Algerian centre back had a very, very good season last year. One of the top centre backs in Ligue 1. So I think that was a good signing as well. But once they get that team gelling and they get some of the players, they need to embed like Skamaka as well into the team. I do feel like West Ham will finally kick on, but they need to put in a good performance because this Brighton team are off some very good form. They've just signed Estupiñán, who's a solid left back from Villarreal. So I think that's going to be the Cucurella replacement. So I feel like Brighton are going to show up and they're going to create enough chances because, as I was saying about Crystal Palace earlier, even though they haven't got an out-and-out goal scorer, they have enough creativity in their team for other people to get enough goals. And I think that's the same with Brighton. They have Trossard, they have Gross, they have a lot of people in and around that team that can create enough chances to score goals. And we saw that against Newcastle, but we also, as we spoke about how Brighton needed a striker, and we've been saying this for about 2-3 years now. So it's like we've been saying it since Glenn Murray was their striker. We've been saying it for ages. So like they do need to get a striker in. And I feel like that might be the reason why they don't out and out win this game. But I do feel like I can see a draw in this game because I feel like West Ham fans are going to be behind the team. They know West Ham know that they need to perform now. So I'm going to go with 1-1 draw. Skamaka to get his first goal.
Yeah, very, very true, very true. Let's move on to the next game. So Leeds United versus Chelsea. Move on to you, Leon. How do you see this game playing out?
Yeah, this will be a really good game to watch. I think with the atmosphere of Ellen Road, I think that will get the Leeds players up and going for this game. But you then got to look at Chelsea's quality. Obviously a 2-2 draw against Spurs, and they dominated for the majority of that game. And I think it's going to be similar to this game. Leeds will be sitting in a low defensive block, waiting for Chelsea to attack, and then maybe hitting them on the break. But as I just said, I think Chelsea will have too much quality for Leeds this game, and you may be looking at like a 2-0 win, maybe 2-3-0 win. But yeah, the Leeds' home atmosphere will be rocking, I think, for this big game. And Chelsea will just edge them out, I think, and I'm going for a 2-0 Chelsea win.
Yeah, Hardy, I'm going to have to leave soon, so can I just quickly give my thoughts on the remaining games and then I'm going to go?
Yeah, sure, go, yeah.
Yeah, so for the Leeds-Chelsea game, I do feel like since Leeds have brought in the players that they bring in, they have become a little bit more solid. But they still have that defensive problem, which we saw against Southampton, where they easily lead 2 goals when they were 2-0 up, which shouldn't have happened. But I feel like Chelsea are just going to have too much quality for them. Their signings have embedded into the team very well, so I'm going to go with a 2-0 Chelsea win, as Leon said as well. I don't know if we've spoken about Newcastle versus Man City. If we haven't,
Not yet.
I think that's going to be. I think this could possibly be the game of the weekend, just because St James's Park now is a fortress. It's an incredible place to go right now,
Yeah.
and they've got the players in. The way they're playing right now, I mean, it wasn't impressive last week against Brighton, but I feel like they will turn up against Man City. But I think Man City are just gonna have too much quality for them, so I'm gonna go with a 3-1 Man City win. And for the biggest game, Manchester United versus Liverpool, the relegation battle. I do feel like United, even though United don't have a striker and Liverpool don't have a striker, I feel like Liverpool have more Salah. And when you have more Salah in your team, and he can score as many goals as he wants. And I feel like they're going to have too much quality, even though they're lacking a bit in the midfield department. I still feel like Liverpool are going to win this game just because Manchester United are so bad. So I don't think it's going to be a hammering, but I'm going to go with a 3-1 Liverpool win.
Yeah. Before you go, I want your thoughts on Casemiro.
Yeah, I've seen apparently Fabrizio Romano just said now that apparently Casemiro is edging the move. I think he apparently wants to get the move done. So he said that apparently they're going to speak with Ancelotti in the next hours to discuss his future. So if Manchester United can sort that signing out somehow, I think that could potentially be a very good signing. That's if maybe he stays fit, if he can fit into the system, because Casemiro on his day is a very, very good midfielder. So I feel like if Man United get him, they don't need to worry about Dion as of right now. But yeah, thanks guys for having me on. Hopefully I'll see you guys Tuesday, or I think maybe tomorrow you're doing Man United preview, so I might be there to tune in.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys for having me.
Before you go,
Big up,
where
lads.
should you find
You got Willie?
Oh yeah, Willida_05 on Instagram, and you can also get me on Oris Talks Football Clips on Instagram as well. I can clip up all the latest like clips from the streams. I've been slacking a bit because I've been busy, but I'll try my best. But yeah, big up lads, thank you.
Thank you, bro. So good. Right then, guys, let's move on. Let's carry on this. Let's carry on with this. So, Manny, I want your thoughts. I want your thoughts on this game.
Chelsea 2, Leeds United 0. No comment necessary. Too much quality, as people have said. I think they will stop Leeds from scoring. No contest. 2-0. And that's me being conservative.
Very true, very true, very true. So there's Felix. Are you there?
Yeah.
I want your thoughts then.
Chelsea definitely. Chelsea are gonna win the match. 3-1. 3-1, I think. But it's certain Chelsea are gonna win. But on the other hand, if I was asked to, if I was interviewed and asked to guess, what could be the upset of the week? Like, what could be the upset of the week? I would also pick that match, Chelsea Leeds. It's not certain, okay? It's not certain. But if they should, it's my personal opinion, okay? That what could be the upset of the weekend? I will pick Chelsea Leeds.
Good point there. Good point. Good point. So yes, everything Kuna. How about yourself? What are your thoughts?
Chelsea 4, Leeds 0. I think they're gonna go and absolutely destroy them like it's a training match because it's Chelsea. Chelsea have a fantastic squad. Their transfer business has been great. They showed that, our previous owner, Abramovich, left. He sold the club. New owners have come in. The new owners mean business. And they're getting their stuff done. Simple as. And I really do hope they get De Jong. With De Jong, that just completes the puzzle for them. Simple as.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Yes, guys, let's move on to the next game. So, Newcastle versus Manchester City. I mean, for Newcastle, they're definitely on a good momentum at the moment, given the start of the season. With Manchester City, they're probably potentially striving towards an improved title. It's going to be an interesting game at Selhurst Park. Well, not Selhurst Park, apologies. I mean, St John's Park. I mean, what I granted is So it's Leon. Let's start with you. What are your thoughts? Today?
Yeah, obviously, City are our top team, but traveling to St James Park, really good atmosphere. The fans will be out for this game, City coming to town, the big game, but I do think, obviously City have too much quality than Newcastle, but Newcastle are starting to build a big team for the years to come, but I do think, maybe like it was against Bournemouth, you'll have Haaland, one of so many touches, but he creates space for the players to burst into, like Foden and Gundogan, or it could be different, But I do think City will have too much for Newcastle, but the atmosphere will be top. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 City win.
Interesting points. Manny, let's move on to you. What are your thoughts?
3-1 City. Again, no real comments. I think Leon's touched on everything, and for those same reasons, I think City will completely overpower the fortress that is St James's Park. They'll score, but they won't win. 3-1 City.
Very true, very true. So yes, everything good. How about yourself?
I think I'm gonna have to go with the same as Manny. 3-1 Man City. Haaland, this guy scores for fun. It's a shame he didn't score in the last game. But I know Haaland, he'll bounce back. And yeah, I think Haaland could possibly get 2s and 3s tomorrow. That's what it is. He's that type of guy. Given the ball, he's scoring. Simple as. So yeah, I got to agree with Manny. 3-1 to Man City.
Agree there. So yes, Felix, moving on to you. This game is going to be a really intriguing game. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, 2-0 Man City. 2-0. I just feel, Man City are going to play well tomorrow. They're going to play well, definitely. It is usual. It is something that happens every time. Man City are definitely going to play well. But, the euphoria in the stadium, the Newcastle home is very, I don't know how to describe it. It is very energetic these days. When you go there, you have to struggle a lot to break them down. I just feel they won't blow them away. Just 2-0. I just feel it's 2-0. And Alan is definitely going to score.
Pick it up for the might definitely happen. So yes, let's move on to the last game, guys, before we move on to other topics. So yes, Manchester United versus Liverpool. This is going to be such a prominent performance for Liverpool. Leon, in our fan base at the moment, we're in disarray. We're 20th in league with -5 goal difference. Such a shambolic start to the season. I want your thoughts. How would you press this?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a horrible start this season, 2 losses, -5 goal difference. Horrible start to the season, man. But, on this game, you gotta look at it, right? Liverpool have lost Matip to injury. They're playing Phillips in defence. Their midfield is looking not very good. Lost Nunes to suspension. But United as well, they haven't really strengthened loads in the window. So, it's going to be a really tough game for United. And obviously the fan protests, they're planning to empty the stadium. So I don't know if that will have much of an impact on the game, but I think it will have a little bit of an impact. The players thinking they don't want to see us, So obviously, Liverpool's quality, but Liverpool maybe go 1-0 up, but I'm hoping for a draw, but 1-0 draw, but you never know with this game, yeah. You never know.
Interesting. Felix, as a United fan, how do you feel about this game?
As a United fan, I believe the best thing that can happen to United in that game is, and that is if Liverpool does not play well, is we are beaten 2-0. And that is if Liverpool does not play well. Okay, we are beaten 2-0. You see, the state we are in right now, you don't need to play Manchester United with a midfield. They are practically useless in the midfield. So what are you? See, You don't know what we've gotten ourselves into, bro. You don't know the dipshit. You see, it's just so unfortunate that we are still discussing midfield, blah blah blah. At this stage of the season, something we've been discussing even 10 games before the end of last season. It's what we are still discussing right now. Casemiro is not going to start against them because I don't know if the deal is going to be completed even by then. Even if it's completed before then, I don't even see him starting. So who is in United? What is in the midfield, for God's sake? The midfield looks like an empty passage. You just run over it. There is nothing there. That is the way we get beaten every time, you know. When an attack starts, you get to the midfield and there is nothing. Nobody's attacking the ball. Nobody's trying to break attack. Nobody's making interceptions. Nobody's making tackles. We don't have the midfield. And if you don't have the midfield, you don't have a team. Okay? We are United is not a serious team, for God's sake. Why do we have to depend on Rashford to deliver this season? Do we even know what we are doing? We are thinking from player resurgence. It is the bitter truth. It's better we tell ourselves some of these players are below average. They go to any other team, they will never improve. That is their peak. That is where they've stalled. We need to see. This is not about the board, the management alone. Let us tell ourselves the bitter truth. Some of these players are now below per average. Tell me how many Manchester United players will walk into any top 16 in Europe. It is rare. I will not play Miguel and then as a coach. I'm not stupid. I will not play Dalot. Why should I play such players in my team? Look at the players we have, for God's sake. We say we have stars. Which star player do we have? Why do we keep deceiving ourselves and saying we have star player? I got to realize that Bruno Fernandes' best season at his age. Bruno Fernandes is almost getting to the peak of his career, without 26 or 27. Bruno Fernandes' best season was when he got to United. He didn't play like that when he was at Sporting Lisbon or so. He wasn't playing like that, okay? His best season at that age was when he got to United. So what is it? I keep telling people something. Is this quality of fluke? Maybe we need to realize that so many things are going wrong. Okay? We are depending on players like Rashford, Martial to do what? What move are we making in transfer? We are going for players in Holland, just Holland. This is the EPL, for God's sake. You are condemning Brandon Williams that is young, is inexperienced, and you're going for Malaysia. What is the difference between Malaysia and Brandon Williams? I watch these guys. I watch this year in Africa every weekend. I know Malaysia very well before he came to United. Immediately Tottenham went for him. I was very furious that the guy is not in United level. Why are we doing this? He was coming. Tottenham was coming to England. He was making boastful statements, telling the press that he's coming to break the hold of Man United, of Liverpool and Man City. Doesn't think this is the Holland League. He was not thinking of playing a team like Crystal Palace, Brighton, and so. Do you think teams in the EPL are cheap teams?
It's funny to see
to beat a relegation team itself. You need to struggle to beat a championship team. You need to struggle. This is not the Holland League where you think you can just bring any player who is not proven. It's not enough to have talent. This is Manchester United. It is not enough to have talent.
Felix, just calm it. But anyways, big up you guys. Hope you guys are doing good. Big up Hardeep. Leon, good to see you again, Leon. Marnie as well. And then Frangunas, we got 17 people.
Orest, sorry. You wanted to buy De Jong for how many months now?
Nah,
we are not preparing options.
Listen, I came in the right time because we're talking about Man United, so I came in the right time.
You know, it's just so funny. This is the EPL, for God's sake.
Listen.
See, Brighton in the EPL is a Champions League. Brighton in the EPL. In another league, Brighton is a top team. In the EPL is a mid-table team. Brighton in the Eredivisie is if Brighton should go to the Holland League today, they'll be winning the league. Do you think Ajax can comfortably beat Brighton? Ten Hag needs to know something. He's a good coach, but this is the EPL. Even top teams don't play from the back every time.
Yeah.
You play forward.
100%. But 18 people watching. Let's get the likes up, guys. Get the likes up.
We got.
Let's get the likes
Yes,
up.
let's move on. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on.
Hardy,
So
the
it's
Glazers
Manny.
are smart, aren't they? Hardy, the Glazers are smart.
Yeah.
You know, Glazers are
So, yeah.
now. Let's get Casemiro, 30-year-old from Real Madrid, just to spin it, PR spin for us. Listen, Casemiro, of course, Casemiro is a great player, and listen, if he was to come in, 100% I would back him. But listen, the only reason why they're getting him is a panic buy, and also Glazers to get him so they can appease. Listen, go back to the last year of transfer summer window. Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo. That was to appease us, and now they're trying to do the same thing by bringing in Casemiro. Listen, we should have got him 6 years ago when he was 24, 25, and now trying to get him on his. Listen, for me, it reminds me of Matic, but I wouldn't go that too far. But listen, Casemiro, 100%, he's a great player, no doubts. I have no doubt that Casemiro is really good. But this is a panic buy. You know, everyone's wake up, man. Don't get carried away. It's a panic buy. We still need to do that process on Monday. Leon, I hope you did not pay the money to the Glazers wearing that shirt, because if you did, then
Alright, a panic buy. Casemiro is not a panic buy. Those guys in our midfield. Those guys in our midfield. No. See,
it's a downgrade. It's a downgrade for Casemiro. Is it not?
Those guys in our midfield, we only destroy his form. See, it is not.
Yeah, and Osman will say that.
See,
Champions
if you look
League
the way
to Europa League is that's a vial.
Guys, calm down. 1 second fine.
Yeah, go on.
If you look the way Real Madrid play in the midfield, a triangle. That is
Ten Hag wants long-term midfielders, not short-term. He wants long-term midfielders.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Short-term.
When you see the way Madrid plays, they play a triangle formation in the midfield. Cruz, Modric, and Casemiro. Everywhere on the pitch, when you see everywhere on the pitch, you will always meet that triangle. Every area.
Okay.
You will always meet that triangle. This is what I'm trying to say.
Guys, calm down. We'll talk about this afterwards. So let's new game though. Manny. I want you to sorry about that.
Let me come in. And I'll make it very quick so that you guys can go back to 3-1 Liverpool. United should be able to score, but Liverpool will have more goals.
People writing us off, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something, you know. I wouldn't be surprised. Because listen, that if we win on Monday, fans will just forget. I see this protest happening. I can see it. It's trending on Twitter. I understand. I hope that happens, because listen, we tried to do that last time, but people ignored. They didn't do it. So for me, this has to be a right protest for me. So for me, in my opinion, I think a pitch invasion is better. I don't know. You guys might laugh, but
always
pitch invasion. But for me, listen, the protest, it should be nice. It should be packed, because I'm seeing Mark Goldbridge sharing around. I'm seeing a huge fan channels and people sharing around. So I hope they actually.
The 58 as well. The 58 as well.
100%. Yeah, 58. Yeah. But listen, Liverpool Monday, we're winning this game. I'm saying it now. We're winning this game. I'm confident.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's an illusion,
bro. Liverpool have injuries. Thiago's out. Konate is out. Matip's out, if I'm right. Listen, for me, we're going to win. And listen, people can laugh in the comments, but I'm saying, Felix, you can laugh. For me, I'm saying, if Ten Hag picks the right team and drops the likes of Bruno Fernandes, I think but Samuel Lucas, that guy, said Ten Hag's considering to drop him. So listen, that's another PR. That's another PR to get the United fans happy. You had a poor chance to win it, but for me, I think we're winning this game. I said in my predictions 2-1 United. I think we're winning this game. Listen, if we lose,
guys, make sure to mean this. Make sure to mean this.
Let me tell you something. Okay, let me tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
You say Liverpool got injuries. Liverpool does not need to change the lineup they used against Crystal Palace. They don't need to change the lineup. They can
Can we
I think-
let's move on to everything
No,
good.
no,
Everything good.
no. Stay on
They
that.
can decide to degrade that lineup. The lineup they use against Crystal Palace.
No, if they play
can
Nathaniel
even
Phillips,
decide.
he's bang average.
See,
Nathaniel Phillips is bang average.
Orest. See, you are still living in that dream I used to
No,
live.
it's not a dreamland,
Sometimes
mate.
last season.
Nathaniel Phillips
I'm a
was
very
bang
strong
average.
United fan, and I'm very.
Nathaniel Phillips was bang average against Crystal Palace. Oh, okay. Let's move on to another topic. What's the last topic? Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
Manchester
Let's
United.
move on to everything good. Everything
Let's
good.
go on to you, man.
Yes.
Sir Ratcliffe wants to buy us. What's your thoughts? Are we going to get a new owner?
Well, for me, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting where it happens or not. I mean, if we do get Ratcliffe, it'll be so cool. And then this is what we need to go by. And as a fan base, we need to push this. And if we don't,
100%.
it's will be here forever.
What
Don't
about
you,
you, Felix? Felix, are we getting a new owner?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see, Orest. See, we need to stop.
Just move on.
leading.
Move on now. Move on.
Okay, we've moved on. What is the next?
No,
I'm
Felix,
always
if you look at the
always
injuries,
frustrated by United situation. I'm
Felix,
very
look at the
frustrated.
injuries. Firmino isn't even. Is he fit? Is Firmino fit? Hardy? I don't know. I'm not sure.
See, honest, let's move forward. I don't even want to think about United right now. It's just so painful.
Yeah, because we're gonna win on Monday anyways. We're gonna win on Monday and Tuesday, mate. Listen, I see Hanno calling me out here. Hanno, mate, what are you talking about? Because every time when United lose, I'm always on the stream. Me and Hardy are always on. When United win, draw, lose, we're always on. So I don't know what Hanno was on about earlier, but now, for me, we need new owners. Me and Hardy have said it before. Back in May, we said it before, man. But then we're negative apparently. But for me, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, for me, is a United fan, Manchester lad. At least he will use his own money without at least Glaze.
Enos owner as well. Enos owner.
Yeah.
What a businessman he is.
And for me, if you read back his quotes in 2019, he's dissing out Fred, man. He's talking about how money is, how United take care, use it well. But for me, I hope this happens. But a couple of signings from the Glazers now is all good. But listen, Ratcliffe, apparently Glazers won around 5 to 6 billion. Ratcliffe, if you don't know him, he's the richest British man. So for me, I think his net worth is 10 billion or so. He owns Nice.
Yeah.
He owns a Switzerland team. I forgot what's it called. But for me,
He owns Nice. He owns Nice.
Yeah, he owns Nice. For me, once he puts in that bid, I think he's going to put 5 to 6 billion bid. Glazers will have to accept it. They won't even consider it. They have to accept it straight away. And they have to accept the fact that every United fans we're not backing you. United fans have to be unite on Monday. Unite, come all together and do this protest. But for me, as I said, Ratcliffe, I think it will happen. But it's a matter of when, not if. So it could take a long while because the money's huge. Documents, you have to prepare that. So I'm hoping that we get a new one and they sack that John Myrtle guy, Hardy. But yeah, we move on.
Manny,
Manny.
Yeah.
Manny, what's your thoughts?
I got it. Yeah, good. Yeah, I had to keep my mic on mute because I think there have been some echoes going around. I didn't want to contribute to that. But one thing which I will say right now is I have to commend United for making some. I mean, there has been some more progress in terms of trying to get some new owners at Manchester United. As an Arsenal fan, we had
keep your crunkers, man. Don't worry, crunk in, man. Crunk in.
No. I'm sorry. I mean, he's gotten his act together getting his act together somewhat right now, but we should have had Daniel Ek coming in, and he wasn't able to put up, so he ended up shutting up.
Well, he ended up buying Barcelona. So.
Yeah, but it's great that for a club like Manchester United, you've got a few. Apart from Ratcliffe, there might be one or two others coming in. So I think if there are more people who are willing to offer some tangible interest and actually are willing to stump up the cash at that particular moment, then that can only be a really good thing. you can't just make a promise to buy something and then have a sort of an installment basis in terms of paying everything. That just wouldn't work. So if something is tangible and Ratcliffe is willing to do that, then that's good. My biggest fear is that the Glazers might not be willing to sell because Kroenke made it crystal clear he wasn't going to sell Arsenal either. And the thing about a lot of these American owners, aside from maybe Bowley at Chelsea, is that they consider our English Premier League clubs to be glorified hedge funds because their American sports teams are doing quite well.
Todd Bowley is already better than the Glazers. That's for a fact. But I saw reliable articles that said 100% that Man United are for sale. So I think we are for sale, but we're just waiting for Ratcliffe and Michael Knighton to get their bids ready. But for me, I think I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say it right now. If we get Ratcliffe, Man United are back. Because I think he's going to get the right structure in. He knows. Listen, everyone in the world will be watching on Monday night, and if they see that protest happening, and if the Glazers will be watching that as well. So listen,
will be.
I think Monday night
Joe Glazer will be there. Joe Glazer will be there.
And was it not Avram as well? I swear, no, but
no,
Avram,
it'll be Joe.
Avram, mate. He's the one that never turns. But Joe Glazer, listen, he turns twice per year, mate. So yeah, listen.
So it's Leon. Leon, how about yourself? What are you?
Leon, yeah. What about how? Stop buying the merchandise as well.
I mean, this is 2019, bro.
Yeah, no. But what do you think, Ratcliffe? Do you think that's happening?
Yeah. The thing is, like if like Ratcliffe's take over, that's massive for the club, you know. And I just have to go back to 2019 when I was watching United and Arsenal, and my dad always wears the green and gold scarf. And someone said, "Is that a Norwich scarf?" And he had to explain for like 10 minutes what it was, and they didn't know. But I think now there's too much pressure on the Glazers now. All these protests,
share price going down, by the way.
Like everything, you know. And like them videos are like.
Marnie, meet your mic here.
And like them videos are like Michael Knighton like talking about Sergeant Ratcliffe and stuff. I think if we keep doing this, keep the pressure up, the Glazers will have to give in. And I keep saying the like minority stake, but they could do that. But I think we just, us as fans now, need to the Glazers.
We need to.
Like we've been linked to players, but this needs to be the main priority. Getting the Glazers out. We can't think, we need that player. We need that player. We need the Glazers gone. We need them gone. So
we need Glazers. We need John Merton. We need Richard Arnold. After Glazers, it will be Richard Arnold.
Yeah. One thing I will just say very briefly is that hopefully the protest will be a lot more organised and it won't descend into people running amok and running into the stadium. Right. That protest that season was a perfect opportunity for fans to show that they could control themselves. But because it completely went out of control, I think it's fair to say that any chances of fan ownership might have pretty much gone up in smoke.
I think this protest
if fans can't be trusted to keep their cool, can they be trusted to make decisions? It's unfortunate because fans are passionate, but if they can't control their passion, it's going to be...
Of course.
Yeah, do we have any more talking points now?
This protest, this protest should be like the one that we did in Super League night. Honestly, but I feel like, in my opinion, the Glazers know there's going to be a protest Monday, so they're going to add more, this is how the Glazers like, they will add more security staff, they'll add more fences and all that BS. But for me, I don't care, just still do the protest. Try and do it like try and be similar to the one that we did for the Super League. But listen,
it has to be bigger though. It has to be bigger.
It has to be big, 100%. But I think if we come unite, get together, I think we can do this. I honestly think we can do this. But we'll see on Monday if you can talk on Twitter, if you can do the action, that'll be better. But we'll see. But,
Also, one thing I want to delve into. I mean, if we do eventually go club back, we do need to give patience to Ten Hag as well. I mean, Ten Hag with the right infrastructure in place, the right players, the right mentality, and also the right ethos to be modernised club. That's exactly what we need to provide. If you look at United at the moment, our modernisation is shambolic.
We ain't even backing him. We ain't even backing Ten Hag. That's the thing. 3 signings ain't enough. Whether you like it or not, we still have the likes of Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford. So I'm seeing reports that we're going to bring in 2 midfielders, 1 versatile forward. So why do you not do this at the start? not at the end. So I don't get. Listen, that could be PR just to get United fans excited. But for me, even if you get Casemiro and Savic, you can get everyone. I'll still be glazed out because none of these signings are going to be telling me, okay, let me back this ownership because I'm never going to back it. So for me, as I said, Monday will be very crucial for United fans to see if they can actually do the talking on the pitch. So for me, listen, I think the game will be cancelled if the protest is huge, very huge. Remember the Super League when we got the Liverpool. It was the same game. Liverpool, Old Trafford, we got the game cancelled because of the United fans running to the pitch. They broke some cameras. Who cares about Sky Sports anyways? Because they don't even have good pundits. But listen, for me, either the game will be cancelled or United fans will not turn up. So we'll see what happens on Monday, man. But hopefully that happens. Let me just read this prediction. Yeah, Casemiro's the last one. Don't worry. Yeah.
Hey, that's the last one now. So yes, Manny, I want your thoughts on as an Arsenal supporter. I mean, with Casemiro, this is definitely a panic buy. Or do you think it will be a good signing for us?
Let's see. His best years were with Manchester United. He's just won the Champions League and the Super Cup. I really think the only reason why United might want him is because he might be considered to be, getting on a little bit at Real Madrid. Maybe Ancelotti feels as though he can afford to lose him. And credit to Ancelotti, he's brought in a few youngsters as well to, come into the Real Madrid team. So if Casemiro does leave, he'll leave on good terms with a golden handshake, with a couple of trophies in his collection. And maybe it's definitely a short-term fix. I don't see him, playing maybe more than 1 or 2 seasons at the very top. Maybe
you just know you're gonna get clipped up again. You do.
Wow. Yeah, I was only thinking. Carry on, Manny. Carry on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so he may possibly retire from international football after the World Cup and then maybe have a couple, 2 or 3 more seasons at the top level. One back in his native Brazil, I think. So, it's a good short-term fix. If it can help, just tighten everything up and get a few results in the short term, I think it'll do its job. The only problem is United have made so many signings like this, supposedly for the short term, and they haven't signed, maybe to some extent, Edson Cavani, who of course is no longer
that was a panic buy, 100%.
Yeah, Cavani was a decent signing, but aside from them, it was hard to see any of the other signings do themselves justice. So I'm sorry that I have to leave, but thankfully this is the last one.
That's fine. Money, where they can find you. Where can people find you, Money?
Of course. So, as usual, you can find me on Twitter at Thangatharai1981. You can find me on Instagram at MannyThangatharai1981. In addition to Oris Talks Football, you can also find me on SBE TV and Delboy Colour TV. You might be seeing me on TV very soon, and that's pretty much it. I just float around, say my piece wherever I'm welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, big up for joining, man. We know that we love your opinions. Big up to you, Money, man. But cheers. Take care. We'll see you probably next Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely.
You can laugh at United, but we lose 5-0. So
No, I'm not going to laugh at anyone because whatever you've gone through, we've gone through at some point. And,
this is why I love Money, man. This is why. Yeah, man.
Anyways,
Take care.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Okay. My thoughts on Casemiro. Listen, I'm watching videos of Ten Hag. He wants midfielders that are long term, and Casemiro, for me, I still think he has 3 to 4 minimum years left on him. I just think he's coming for the money. I've never said this in a player. I think. I'm not sure, but I think Casemiro is coming in for the money, if I'm being honest, because I'm seeing that we're going to double his wages, which is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what the reported wages are. I'm seeing 300, 400k. Listen.
Ores, we are forced to buy. Right now, we are forced to buy players. Okay.
Yeah, that's
players we didn't prepare for.
It's got a panic buy feeling.
And it's a panic buy. Yeah,
it is a
panic buy. Why? How did we get to this stage? It's just so unfortunate. I read an article. Was it not Gary Neville who said? He said players do take pay cuts just to play for United. It is not just the quality of play. Even the status of the club is dwindling because of the way things are being handled. I
And I'm
just
seeing
hope
that
the
you now
coach.
want to go back in on Anthony. Are you kidding me, mate? Are you kidding me? We want to go
Oh.
back on Anthony. Listen,
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
that's
I
not
saw that
happening.
news too. Why is Ten Hag only going for players in the Eredivisie? There are players everywhere.
I mean, to be fair, you got Christian
Wingers
Eriksen. Come on.
everywhere.
You got
It's
Eriksen.
Scouting as well.
Come on.
It's Scouting as well. Scouting's ball. Two balls.
Why
To be
does he have
fair,
to? Why does it?
Yeah.
Why does he have to be Ajax, PSV, Ajax, PSV? You want to sign Cody
It's not
Gakpo
a Dutch
for the
league player.
Cody
You got
Gakpo?
Eriksen. You wanted Eriksen, you got him. So he's not a Dutch league player. But
Why should
I
why
do
should
get
we
your
be
point. No,
why
100%
should we
get your
be
point.
bid?
And I did say this before. I think Eric Ten Hag needs to be careful with the Eredivisie players. I did say this on my channel. But listen,
The risk.
if he wants to sign someone, we got to back him, man. We can't just say, oh, look at him getting Eredivisie players and this and that. We just got to back his own decision and see what players he wants to get. And for me, if he wants to get Casemiro, I don't think he wants to, but if he does, then back him. If he wants to get a right back, which we do need, by the way, because Wan-Bissaka is horrible, then back him. If we need a versatile footballer, then forward, then Anthony, for me, Ajax 180 million. That's too much. That is way too much. But I think, I don't know, Hardy, what do you think, man? Has Ten Hag, what do you think about this summer, man? I think I'm 50-50, man.
Well, the thing is, a lot of fans are just scapegoating Ten Hag, and all of this, it's not our fault. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's the Glazers.
It's John Myrtle, man. John Myrtle.
Yeah, John Myrtle.
Okay, well, can I ask you a question? Why should any coach in his right mind, an independent coach, when you're a coach, you're a manager, okay? That means you are in charge of the dressing room. You are in charge of your players. You are in charge of everything without external control. Why should any?
Oh,
hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm gonna read this comment. Okay, if you don't want Anthony, who would you want? Because it's Anthony or Rashford. I said, let me rephrase it. Anthony, 100% I would take, but for me, it's the price, man. That's what triggers me. But listen, United will probably panic buy. They'll get flipping. Here's a forward that United will probably panic buy. I don't know. I don't know, man. He's a smart player that we can panic buy just to appease the fans. Memphis buy
Katsunic from Stuttgart. I mean, Stuttgart. Maybe that's striker in there as well. Maybe. I mean, he could be this signing in his striker. He's aggressive. Some of it's pretty cross, but exactly what we need. But
we missed that one. That Salzburg striker that went to Dortmund, so that's another double messed up.
Adeyemi. Yeah.
I don't know. What was his name? The one that went to
Was it Adeyemi?
No, I forgot. He had some long name. I forgot his name. I think it's. Was he playing at Leipzig? I don't know. Or Salzburg? I don't know. I don't know. But
yeah.
Who's that? Sesko. Yes.
Yeah, Sesko. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we missed. But I don't know, man. Because for me, as I said, Ten Hag needs 3 to 4 transfer windows to judge him right. You can't judge him on one transfer window. And for me, I think this will never happen. But if we get Van der Sar, then he will definitely back Ten Hag. But listen, United, they want to get English people involved in the board. So
yes, man.
Exactly, how deep. But yeah, man. 5 people watching, smash the likes, get it to 20 before we end it. The next room will be United Liverpool preview, so that's gonna be a fun one. So I don't know. I think it's tomorrow at 4:00. So tune into that one.
We could postpone it to maybe Sunday. Sunday,
probably Sunday. Yeah. Probably Saturday, Sunday. But we'll schedule it, and you guys will see. Once we schedule it. I mean, United for myself, but Anthony is the number 1 target for Everton. So surely we need to bet despite the price. Otherwise, we're going to plan B, C, D, etc. Just like we have with the CDMs.
De Jong as well. De Jong. We should be going with
De Jong and Timber. That's going to be looked at in January for me. I think January will be looked at. But listen, rival fans are laughing at us because we're not getting Timber. But we'll see what happens in January. Because if it was Lewis Van Gaal, mate, he would have come in. But Lewis Van Gaal obviously forced him to stay. But if you want, listen, whoever that FTB column, yeah. If you want United content, then feel free to follow United Clips on TikTok. So
yours.
Yeah. Big up, Leon, big up.
Well, you can sing in the back anyways, but this
Yeah.
time, I think for me, I'm gonna ask you guys a question just before we end it. So we got Liverpool, Southampton, and
Leicester.
Arsenal. Oh no!
Leicester as well.
Sorry.
Leicester, then Arsenal, yeah.
Okay. Out of those 4 games, or is it 4 games? How many points are we getting, lads? I think
Probably
Liverpool, if we're being realistic,
9.
Liverpool will lose if we're being realistic. Who's after Liverpool? Is it Southampton?
Southampton, Leicester, then
I
Arsenal.
think honestly, we'll draw. I think we'll draw because listen, Southampton away. Did we not draw last season? But I'm not sure.
Yeah, it
Southampton
was 1-1. 1-1, yeah.
Yeah, man. But I think Southampton draw. Leicester I think that's at home still.
Yeah.
I better be not away because honestly, we
it's home.
Okay, yes, home.
Home.
Perfect. Felix, great time. Felix, 4 fixtures in our next 4 fixtures: Liverpool, Southampton, Leicester, Arsenal. Out of those, how many points are we getting?
You see, I don't want to sound so disappointing. You see, I don't know what. If they see, we can't keep playing like this, like the way we are playing right now. And
surely Van de Beek has to start. You know, surely he has to start. Yeah.
In the sixth position, I think.
Van de Beek, he has to start.
You know, I really went. What's the name of the interim coach that left? I've forgotten his name.
Ralph
Rangnick. When Rangnick said we need 10 players, people don't understand.
Yeah, but people think that
people thought that statement
that he was the problem. Apparently, there were fans saying that Rangnick was the
people
problem.
thought that statement. People thought that statement was too ambiguous. 10 players. Why do we need 10 players? I think at the course of the season, people will realize why we need a lot of players. People will realize that the problem of Manchester United is not because just the board are doing what they like, just because, or probably the quality of the coaches. No, we also have a lot of bunch of bad players. We need to accept that. We are still looking at some players as good players. Luke Shaw should not be Manchester United. We don't have a fullback. Forget about buying just a right back. We don't have a fullback. We don't have a midfield.
You don't rate Malaysia?
I don't rate Malaysia. No, I don't rate Malaysia. So I don't think so. We have so many quality. Will you compare Malaysia to Tismakas? Will you compare Malaysia to Tismakas?
I mean, to be honest, it's early to join him. It's early.
Wait, who would you prefer, Tismakas or Malaysia? Be honest.
Huh? Obviously,
in terms of quality,
it's early for Malaysia.
Let us drop the current form. In terms of quality,
it's early for Malaysia though. It's early. I don't think he started in those. He hasn't started 2 games, by the way. Shaw's been starting in 2 games. So
I've watched Malaysia so many times.
I know
he plays with a Nigerian guy, so that is why, because I do podcast on Nigerian players, I watch his team week in, week out.
Yeah, can we get Igalo back? Can we get Igalo back?
Yes.
No. That is catastrophic. That is not possible.
I'm sure Hardy will take him back.
If Manchester United are gonna sign a Nigerian player, it should be Ndidi. I wish
Ndidi, mate. Honestly, I would have him up. Do you rate McTominay, by the way? Because honestly, McTominay.
What?
Okay, yeah, I know you don't rate him. You said Mark what? Yeah, man. McTominay. Leon, you don't rate him, right? Not us, but we don't rate McTominay. So
no.
Hardy, it's fine. We've got an agenda. So listen,
apparently do.
Yeah, but listen, from McTominay to Casemiro, mate. No, that's an upgrade and a half. But guys, unfortunately, because of time, we do have to. No.
Yeah. So Leon, I want your thoughts with McTominay. Do you think he's good enough?
Nah, I honestly don't. Like, obviously Casemiro was a big upgrade on McTominay, but we need to be planning for the future. Like I've seen, like in the last 5 years, we've just been signing players over 30. Most players over 30. We need a long-term plan, and that's why I think with Jim Ratcliffe coming in, he wants a long-term plan. He don't want to sign veterans. He wants to sign young players who will have a good future at our club. So Yeah, that's what I think.
This comment is 100% facts. As I've told a lot of United fans, Ralph
true.
is a manager. He is a builder of clubs. He does his best work behind the scenes, not on the front line. Exactly, but I'm not going to name names, but people were expecting him to do flipping Pep Guardiola on the touchline. So, yeah, I've always said.
Two certain people.
I got excited when we got Ralph Rangnick because I know once he goes upstairs, he knows what he's doing. But, yeah, man. The board sacked Ralph Rangnick once. He said we need 10 players, so it is what it is. But they did have PR stuff on their website saying, "Oh, we let Ralph Rangnick go because he didn't want to work with Ten Hag, and he did, and apparently he because of the Austria job is going to affect him." Well, let's go back after the Crystal Palace game. He did say, "I'm looking forward to work with the new manager, and it's fine for me to do the Austria job and the United job." So for me, it's clear and obvious. It's PR. So they clearly sacked him because they didn't like when they said 10 players. Because Glazers, mate, they don't want 10 players. They only want 3 to 4 players that are very high name players, just to excite the fans. But me and Hardeep are smart enough to know what they're doing. So it is what it is. Yeah. But getting Casemiro and Savic and listen, Caicedo, we should have got him for 5 million last. Was it
5 what?
February? We were linked with Caicedo for 5 million.
Yeah.
And now apparently United now we want him. But listen, they don't realize how much Brighton. Imagine Brighton want 50 million for Caicedo because you know what Brighton asking. But now, because of time, we might have to end it. So Hardy, shout out where people can find you.
Well, guys, you know where to find me, Mr. FC, Mr. HTM United Stands. You can find me via Instagram via HTM United Stands, or if you want to follow me personally, it'll be via HS7.
Big up, man. I love your fan page because you keep United fans updated. So big up for that. Big up the content. And talking about big up the content, Leon, under me. Shout out where can they find you?
Yeah. So TikTok is United Clips with a Z, no S. We're closing on 300k. So if you follow that, I'll be very appreciated. And my Instagram is leon.emeryfc, but TikTok's the main one, guys. So just please follow me on there. United Clips.
And Felix.
Yeah.
Oh, Felix.
Yeah.
Shout out where people can find you.
Yeah, I just found me on Instagram. Felix Peter. That's my name. Yeah, Felix Peter. I'm also planning on having a podcast. I'm setting up a podcast very soon, but I'm just trying to get a few things.
Get me on, man. Get me on. I mean, you can argue about 10 on. No, I'm joking. But if you want, you can message Hardy on me or Leon if you want. But yeah, I'll be down to join. Yeah. Down to join. And we're gonna make a question: should Leon make his own YouTube channel? And we'll see. We'll make that question in the next stream. But we'll see if that gets around 30 or 40 yeses, then maybe we'll make one next year though, not this year, because obviously. Yeah, but guys, big up for the subscribers, man. I'll just check. We got 235. Keep subscribing. If you're new, subscribe. Smash the likes. Once I end it and I go back, because I always go back and watch it, it better be on 20 likes. If it's not, then you don't watch football. Listen, you guys have to, in the comments before we end it, you have to say big up Hardy for covering me, because honestly, his work, it's like he's already a professional.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah, big up Leon. Big up Leon, big up Felix, man. But I've been very busy with holiday work. But yeah, man, big up you guys. Next stream will either be Saturday, maybe. We'll keep it updated, but we always schedule it so you guys will see it.
We'll be here.
We're
finishing now as well.
Yeah, we're finishing off. But let's final say on Casemiro, then we'll finish off. Toby, what's your final say on Casemiro? Toby?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Let's just Lectors. Yeah, big up, man. Big up, man. You have some good points. Yeah, you have some good points, man. Big up, and also just stay tuned. Turn the notification on, because I will always schedule the stream one day before, but we'll see. I think it's either going to be Saturday, because Saturday I can actually do it because I'll have a laptop by then. But I think it'll be Saturday. But obviously we'll keep you guys updated on the Orstocks Football page, Instagram. Follow that if you want to stay updated and tuned. Guys, we'll see you on the next stream. Big up Hardy for hosting this and the other stream. Big up.
Regards. Big guys, big up. Thank you for joining.
Big up. Good stream, man. Hardy, obviously, big up for you hosting this as well.
Yeah. So, am I late?
Yeah, we're finished now.
Wow. I actually sent